or what inspired me to begin sharing really was the story of Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina. And I thought about her young daughter, Bobbi Kristina, who was 19 at the time. It really inspired me to be vocal about where I was and vocal about my situation and vocal about just the things that I'd overcome. Hi, and welcome back to EQ in the Raw. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about my own personal journey to emotional wellness. It's been a long one and it has been a wild one at times. But I'll start off by saying now I am a third-year medical student. I am currently pursuing my doctorate in business administration, and I told you I'm a life coach as well. But it hasn't always been this way. See, back in 2005, I lost my mother to a brain aneurysm. She was 52 years old, had been struggling with hypertension for a number of years, and it had gotten the best of her back in 2005. At this point, I was 19 years old, and as you can imagine, at 19, I went into a free fall, emotionally, spiritually, financially, pretty much every way that you can imagine. And there were even times where I was bouncing from family member's house to family member's house, trying to find that love of my mom, and I couldn't find it. And so at one point I ended up living in a car for a little while because it was just too much. But there were times where I had that little voice in the back of my head, which was, I believe, my mother, just kept telling me to go on, move forward. Her favorite song was One Day at a Time, which is like an old gospel song. And I remember thinking about that song from time to time, just one day at a time. So from there, I was able to piece together a little bit of grit, a little bit of faith, a little bit of hope, and actually take action to be able to continue to pursue all of the things that I promised my mother before. And here I am now pursuing those things still, but loving the journey that I'm on and feeling that I'm still making her proud all these years later. Or what inspired me to begin sharing really was the story of Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina. When Whitney Houston died a number of years ago, it was a pain that everybody felt, right? One of the most gifted singers, actresses, performers, just human beings of our time, and she's gone. And I thought about her young daughter, Bobbi Kristina, who was 19 at the time. And as the story goes, we ended up losing Bobbi Kristina too, through a tragic departure of life. And so for me, given the similarities, Whitney Houston was a few years younger than my mother, and I was the same age as Bobbi Kristina when she passed. It really inspired me to be vocal about where I was and vocal about my situation and vocal about just the things that I'd overcome, because I wanted to be able to reach a Bobbi Kristina. So I'd love to hear from you. How are you navigating your emotional journey? What are the things that you have learned through faith that you didn't necessarily feel like you could survive or you can make it through at some point in time? And until next time, please keep embracing your emotions in the raw.
Tomorrow is judgment. wake up and